What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rick's Righteous, and this is another Raf Rant. Okay, so obviously you guys have already checked out the fight, or you're mad, or you're not understanding what's going on. Um, I'm basically here to give you my insight on what's been on Twitter. Uh, I had the fight 115, 113 for Manny. I thought Manny played it a little bit too close, but the headbutts was also something that I felt like should have been accounted for when it came to the judges scoring. So basically, if you're scoring a fight and you see that a guy's headbutting and he's not getting a warning or anything, you should at least see it as a round that was disrupted by headbutting and holding and stuff like that. So to be honest with you, I didn't see him as a dirty fighter. I just thought that he was doing everything he had to do to win that fight. I've never watched him fight like that. I know that he's a strong fighter and he was ox in there, but uh, there are a lot of flaws that I saw in Manny. I still don't believe that was enough for him to lose. I don't think that he deserved to lose. So these are some of the judges here. Of course, they were shouted out by Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. Waleska Roldan, Chris Flores, and Raymond Surdin. Okay. Um, the one of the issues that I had was the 117 111 score. That was outrageous. It was just not the same fight that we were all watching. It was not at all that. So the ref I saw was slightly fair, but the one thing I want to point out to some of the fans that didn't, I haven't seen this on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube or anything, is that the ref kept stopping the fight, whether it was the headbutts or the gloves, the tape on the gloves getting messed up and stuff like that. I remember even at one point he told one of the guys, get the scissors ready. And I thought that was kind of foul because I'm just like, so why are you allowing this to happen? Like, you gotta let these guys get some kind of another warning, some type of stern warning where it's like, stop disrupting the fight. It's not just your headbutting, it's not just the tape or whatever, it's just stop disrupting the fight. So, if the judges see that and they're fair, then they got to see, okay, well, Manny's doing everything right. His corner isn't cheating, or his corner isn't doing something wrong. So, in my sense, as someone that's looking from the outside on TV and stuff like that, I feel like that's the best perspective to have. But since they weren't really like looking at it like that, and it's the hometown crowd, then you get scores like 117, 111, and I'm not shocked, 115, 113, that's fine, Of course, it's a home cooking, but I still think he didn't deserve to lose. But anyway, here's the totals in the punches, the percentages and stuff like that. So you got 32 on the Pacquiao side, and you got 15% on the Horn side. Not too much difference on the jabs. Uh, I don't know what they were looking at. Like, I don't. I'm still. I'm starting to feel like the boxing needs a judge, like a retired judge, on television to kind of break down what the judges might see or what they're looking at when the fight is about to end. Kind of like they have the ref there whenever there's a foul or some kind of flagrant foul. They pull up a ref like that. He's just right there. He's ready. Stop giving these unofficial scoring cards. Stop giving all these unofficial things, because all it does is make the watcher more lost and confused. There's a lot of people that gave a 10-8 round to Manny. It's like, what are you talking about? He didn't knock him down, so don't give him a 10-8 round. It's ridiculous. I don't ever score a round like that. It's just me, I guess. But it doesn't make any sense. If his body or anything like that doesn't touch the canvas, then it's a 10-9 round. Clear as day. That's why some people are getting mad. But I feel like the commentators, a lot of things in boxing are one dimensional. Basically you got one guy doing this, one guy saying this, another guy doing this. Like nothing is streamlined, and that's why I feel like you have problems like this showing up. So you got this guy, what's his face, Teddy Atlas. He's losing his marbles on ESPN. This is the judging, the score card. I'm sorry, and here it is. So Waleska, you need some new eyes. You probably need a new set of glasses. You need to go and get yourself the laser treatment for your eyes. You need some new contacts. You need something to help you. Maybe you need some earplugs too, because I don't know how in the world you have 117, 111. It's impossible. I could see 115, 113, but I still don't believe, that Manny lost. So I would have been cool with a split decision, but to say that he lost, it's a whole different ball game. And I understand that he's in Australia, and the fight is in the morning, and all this stuff's happening where he's getting headbutted and stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I will say that I was not all the way thinking that Manny was doing a dominating fashion. Here's some of some memes here. Um, yeah, this is crazy, man. It's kind of bugged out. It didn't make sense to me. Look at Jeff Horn after saying he won. Of course, Manny's like, "Are you serious?" He came off very confident because, of course, he has the rematch clause, and they're bound to that. It can't change. But I was just joking around with my little brother, like they basically don't want him to skate off with that bag. I don't know how true that is, but I will say that if there is a rematch in Australia, it only benefits them. Um, Manny going through this trials and tribulations, and now for the first time, it's everybody that feels the same way. It hasn't been like this since the Bradley fight. I'm definitely a Manny Pacquiao supporter. I'm a fan, and to some of you guys that are, you know, Mayweather fans and all this kind of stuff, now you see how we feel. I mean, of course, if you thought Mayweather won, then you know it's all good. But the point is that this is not the first time it happens to Manny. Manny has controversial fights, and he's not the type of person that is a dirty fighter. He just fights his style, and sometimes it happens. So the reason why I bring up, for you guys that are Mayweather fans, it's not necessarily about he won, he beat Mayweather or whatever. It's just that to me, to be honest, I just feel like when you care so much about people losing and stuff like that, this is the reason why a loss on your record shouldn't really matter. Because when you got a robbery like this takes the cake on the whole conversation on why it doesn't matter if you have a loss in your record. This guy clearly won. It wasn't like a landslide, but at the same time, I just feel like, why is it that this should be taken seriously if he clearly won? You know what I mean? Like, this is why people should just be able to move on, and it shouldn't be a lot of fans saying, "This is why I don't watch boxing." I have people hitting me up, saying that they don't want to watch boxing, and this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Some people didn't even watch it because they're not entertained by it anymore. They're not happy with the turnout, the result. And my argument is this: who cares if you lose? If you show heart and determination, That's all that matters. If you show skill, that's all that matters. Horn definitely showed all of that. But did he deserve to win? No. And if he would have got an L, I felt like he should have gotten the respect he deserves. But now Manny Pacquiao lost. And now I feel like people are going to change the narrative and try to make it about how Manny got ripped off and he should retire and this and that. Nah, it's just a fight. If he said that he's going to fight and he's going to get ready, he prepped himself, um, he brought his A game. He hit Jeff Horn a lot with a lot of shots. That ninth round was amazing for Manny. But I will say this, in the 10th round, he looked the opposite. He looked so tired. I mean, I guess Jeff Horn was just too muscular, too big, too much of a heavy guy for him. So that changes the game. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're gonna have to wonder what happens next. Of course, there's gonna be a rematch, but how long is that gonna take? So to me, this is looking like Ali-ish, where Ali loses to a young guy and stuff like that. He comes back and beats him, or it's just something very close to that, um, or it's just it is what it is. Maybe Manny might not return. Who knows? But yeah, Twitter is not cool with this right now. They're just not understanding how this is going on. I feel like another problem that Manny had was that he didn't go to the body enough. They both had the same amount of numbers, so I think that was kind of a mistake on his behalf. He should have went to the body a little bit more. I will say this for the Manny fans, or for the people that were paying attention to the fight. Manny was crushing Horn with the right hand in the ninth round. The very next round, he didn't hit Horn with the same tenacity, with the same uh, passion. You know what I'm saying? He was hitting him with right hooks, a lot of those haymakers and stuff like that, and he was catching him all just off of like instinct. He was catching him off of good instincts, and I feel like his right arm started to bother him again. Like, you look, I'm pretty sure that this fight is gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be easy to rewatch this one, so there's not gonna be no excuses. But if you like boxing like I do, go and check out the 10th round. You're gonna see as soon as he started the 10th round, he flicked his arm like, oh snap, I gotta readjust my right arm because I just used it a lot and I might have to use it again. And if you look, he didn't want to use it anymore. So I'm not taking that out of the window either. If he wants to retire, so be it. Just like I said with Triple G, if he wanted to retire right now, so be it. You know why? These guys have a bunch of hard fights that they've had. Triple G obviously has had close to 400 fights. Manny's had some hard fights, really difficult fights, ones that he may look easy. But if it's not that anymore, if you're getting robbed, if you got to come back and jump through walls and all kinds of things to prove yourself, then obviously you're doing too much. So that's it. That's all I had to say. What did you guys have? What was the scorecard you have? What did you guys have for that? Did you expect Horn to come out with this type of tenacity? Are you numb to the establishment and how they score fights, or are you pissed off at it? Are you done with boxing? What's your take on this fight? Do you think Horn can compete with some of the welterweights now if Manny was to just make a decision and just leave, or do you think Horn has a chance for part two? So anyway, that's my take. It's your boy Rex Righteous, and let's continue to keep boxing alive. Peace out, folks.